Now, let's move on and we're going to look back at the Electric Ireland Minor Football Final. I'm delighted to say we have the manager of the Cork Minor team, Bobbie O'Dwyer, on the line with us. Bobbie, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good morning, Tommy. All very good, thank you.
It's Ger here, actually. You've had an amazing season when you consider where you guys came from in the round robin against Kerry. Can you put yourself back how you felt in the immediate aftermath of was it a 16-point defeat in the round robin stage to that Kerry team?
Yeah, not the best feeling in the world at all. Not nice to come out on the wrong side of what was a big shellacking on the night. So that was a dark time for us because we had to turn around and face Clare in the next round 1 week later. So trying to get a group of young lads of 16 and 17 years of age off the ground to face what was a knockout tie 1 week later, that was a tough one.
How did you do it? What did you say to them?
It was just all about getting the confidence back. We've been with those boys since they were under 14, so we knew their character, we knew what they were made of, and it was just a case of sitting down with them saying, look lads, we haven't become a poor team overnight. This is it. It was do or die, make or break on the day. And in fairness, they went up to Ennis and played Clare in Ennis. And they really stood up. It wasn't the prettiest of games, but it was a game that you just had to get over the line.
One of the things I think about minors is that you can have a bad week, and then the next week they can forget about it in a way that maybe a senior team, it gets into the psyche. They suddenly feel like every defeat is a permanent stain on their record. With minor teams, it's like, okay, that was last week. This week's totally different.
And that's a fair point. Yeah, the young lads don't think this in the same way as the rest of us do. They're very kind of a positive outlook on it. So what's happened yesterday is yesterday, and what's happening now is now. So it's all about getting into the now and just getting your head ready to do what you can do. So yeah, they're good lads, and they were very positive, and that's the way they looked at it.
Bobbie, the 2018 team, last year's team, had been beaten by Kerry in a Munster semi-final by a single point, and then that Kerry team obviously went on to, did they win their 5 in a row or 6 in a row? I can't even remember. It's 5, yeah. So like that group obviously, and you guys were in charge of that, so that group obviously had some sense that they were very close to being capable of winning in All-Ireland heading into this season.
Yeah, well, one of the big learnings for us, you mentioned that game in Tralee last year, is that we were a goal down against Kerry going into additional time, and we scored a goal. So we were so excited about getting that goal and getting back to kind of level terms, and that was, I think, 62, 63 minutes gone at that stage. And our boys are out around the field and they were jumping up and down with delight and excitement. And Kerry, I guess, using that little bit of experience that they had, came back up the field and knocked the ball over the bar. And I suppose they won that game then by a point. So if you catch your mind back to the minor final this year, Galway scored a goal in the 62nd minute of the second minute of additional time. And it was something that our lads had practiced quite a lot on, and a lot of work had gone into it just to making sure that in a situation like that you have to be composed under a bit of pressure. And again, I suppose that little bit of experience that we got last year stood for us, and no doubt Galway were delighted to have got that goal, but our guys kept their heads and kept their bit of pressure, and 35, 40 seconds later had the ball in the back of the net on the other side, and that did come from a little bit of experience, you know.
That's class, because we actually wanted to ask you exactly about that, because it was remarked upon in the immediate aftermath of the game that your team don't fall to their knees and start beating the ground. We've seen that happen all the time in sport, everywhere. You think back to the Champions League final in '99, and here you have a goalkeeper, presence of mind to go get the ball in the tee, get it out quickly, and the rest of the team click into a mode of going, hang on a second, they've switched off here, and next thing, the ball is in the net, as you say. One of the most dramatic finales to a minor final that I can remember, but it's mad that you guys had actually worked on it.
Yeah, it was just the experience we got from in Tralee last year, and we've a really good guy working with us, a guy called Barry Corkery, and I guess he was working with the lads a lot around kind of leadership and composure and just good decision making and not losing the head. And look, I don't know what are the little 1%ers that win or lose matches for you, but all of those played into it, and the composure showed by the boys on the day was remarkable. It was just excellent and got us over the line anyway.
So were you calm when Galway scored that goal?
Do I tell the truth?
Yeah, tell us the truth.
It was funny. The one thing, of course, you're disappointed when it happens, and you're looking down towards the dabbing end where it happened, and I was looking up at the screen, and I looked at the time, and I saw the time that had gone, and it was all about getting the ball out. I actually didn't think, I genuinely didn't think that the game was gone, because I knew we had 2 minutes or slightly under it to get the ball up the field. And when you have that time, you genuinely do believe, or you have to believe. Where I was under pressure was young Tom O'Culhan had a free with about 30 seconds to go down in front of the Cusack stand, and that was pressure, because if the ball had gone over the bar that time, it was game over.
Yeah, which is mad when you think about it too. In fairness to that Galway team, they recover from the hammer blow of conceding a goal at 15 seconds after they think they've won an All-Ireland final to force the opportunity for them to try and win it again. So a roller coaster of emotions in 90 seconds.
It was incredible. It was incredible, and I mean, it's something we got over the line, and we're so happy, and it's been a fantastic a week and a half, 2 weeks since it happened for us here in Cork. But I have no doubt the opposite the opposite is true then for the Galway lads. It's been such a roller coaster of emotions, and look, we're delighted we've got over, but we feel genuinely so sorry for those lads, because look, they're only young lads and they play their heart out, and it's a toss of a coin between two very good teams on the day. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's reflected in the Electric Ireland Minor Stars 2019 Football Team of the Year. I wouldn't mind getting your thoughts on some of this. So we can put the team up there. 15 players, obviously, 7 counties represented, 4 from the All-Ireland winning team of Cork, and obviously 1 team with the hashtag This Is Major. So your 4 lads were Derek Cashman, Daniel Linehan, Michael O'Neill and Conor Corbett. 5, 6, 11 and 12. What kind of seasons did Dara, Daniel and Michael and Conor have that they ended up being the ones who make this team? Again, 4 very, very good players. I suppose as Cork manager, you want all 15 of your players on it, and you want all of your panel there as well. But no, delighted for the 4 boys. Dara Cashman, superb wing back, played number 5 all year. I think one of the beauties in the All-Ireland final for Dara is that Dara kicked 2 points from right half back. He kicked 1 with his right leg and 1 with his left leg. It just goes to show you the level of skill that all of these young men have, and it's great to see. Danny Linehan comes from a small little club in Cork called Castlemagner, and when we were going up to play Mayo in the All-Ireland semi-final, I happened to be sitting talking to Danny, and I was asking him about had he been to Croke Park before, and Danny had never been to Croke Park before. And he proceeded to score as good a goal as you'll ever see in Croke Park from centre back on that day against Mayo. Look, Conor Corbett's picked at 11. We were playing him slightly different throughout the year. Conor Corbett is a special talent. This is the second year with the Cork Miners now, and he's just a terrific guy, our captain, and really led by example. And Michael O'Neill of Buckland, another superb forward. Michael has been very unlucky with injuries this year, so his first game in the championship was in the quarter-final against Monaghan, and he only managed, I think, about 35-40 minutes at that stage, because the leg was just about being held together. So they're 4 terrific guys, and part of a terrific panel of players here in Cork.
Am I right in saying that this was another Cork team that did have a wide spread of members of the team? So, you know, there's been a concerted effort in the background in Cork football over the last decade, I guess, to try and make sure that there were no players slipping through the net who might have been playing junior football.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes people don't realise the size of the county in Cork, and it is a big county, and there's lots of clubs here in Cork. So we saw over 200 young lads this year for trials, and I think it's 26 clubs and 28 schools, or 28 clubs and 26 schools involved in our panel this year. So it takes a lot to pull a full squad together. But we can honestly put our hand in our heart and say that we saw everybody that wanted to come for trials in Cork this year, and we gave every young fella a chance. And irrespective of what junior club or intermediate club or senior club they came from, we put out what we consider to be the top footballers in Cork. Yeah, and I think that's a real indication of the dedication that the football people of Cork have had. And it's been a tough time for you at senior level over the last half decade or so, but the resurgence of this team winning the Electric Ireland Minor Football Championship, it's a real
boost for everybody involved in football in the county, and you can't kind of understate the importance to the general football community when a team like this emerges.
It's been nothing short of fantastic here in Cork. Since we came back last Sunday week, we've been out to the schools predominantly with the cups, and it's so heartening to see the young boys and girls coming out wearing their Cork jerseys, going to the various competitions that are on around the place wearing their Cork jerseys, and it's just wonderful for young people to have new heroes. I suppose we've been a little short of football heroes for a little while, and it's just fantastic to see. The under-20s were terrific this year. Keith Wicken and his management team and the players and the under-20s, and they gave the county just so much confidence, and that helped us to slip along with them. And it's just wonderful. Like, Cork is a great sporting county, and it's been tough the last couple of years, but there's always good footballers down here, and it's just wonderful to see the bit of confidence and I guess the bit of momentum as well. So it's terrific.
Bobbie, congratulations, great stuff. Thanks a million for joining us this morning.
Thanks a million. Take care.
Bobbie O'Dwyer there, the manager of the Cork minor football team, of course, won the Electric Ireland Minor Football Championship. I should have run you through the full team. The Kerry goalkeeper is Devin Burns. The Galway cornerback was Jonathan McGrath. The Mayo fullback was Oisin Tunney. The Monaghan cornerback on the Electric Ireland Minor Star Team of the Year was Ronan Boyle. Tyrone's wingback was James Donaghy. Mayo's midfielder was Ethan Henry. James McLaughlin from Galway's in midfield. Aaron Brown was the Kildare wing forward. Daniel Cox was the Galway corner forward. Tom O'Callaghan, who had that last minute free to win it, was the Galway full forward. And Dylan Gainey from Kerry, from Dingle, was the other corner forward on the team of the year. And the four representatives from Cork, as we talked about: Dara Cashman, Daniel Linehan, Conor Corbett and Michael O'Neill.